Oh yeah, baby, we're entering the era of Jack Quaid films, and I cannot be more happier for him. In other news, I just got myself some new kicks. You like them? You like them? Eh? Yeah. They're zero shoes. I think they're currently on sale, which is why I got them. And they're pretty good, you know. They're like low on the ground, so that I can feel the ground, baby.
Oh! Wow, that hurt! That one hurt the most!
I gotta say, I'm a bit surprised that this movie was longer than 90 minutes. I mean, if you Google it, it's apparently an hour and 50 minutes. And after having seen the film, it definitely probably could have just chopped off that extra 10 to 20 minutes in order to save us some time. Or perhaps use that time to further develop the romance between Jack Quaid and Amber Midthunder. I'm just double checking her last name, and I gotta say, Midthunder. That is kind of fucking badass. Let me just make this very clear though, I think this movie fucking rocks, okay? This movie fucking rules, and Jack Quaid is so goddamn good. We follow assistant manager Nathan Cain, portrayed by Jack Quaid, who has a very rare genetic condition where he can't feel pain. He can't feel hot or cold, doesn't know when he needs to take a piss, and can't eat solid foods because he'll run the risk of unknowingly biting his lip, therefore bleeding to death. So as you can imagine, life with this genetic disorder ain't exactly the best. After finally finding love with the girl who works at the front desk of his bank, she is unfortunately taken as hostage by robbers. And due to the incompetence of the San Diego Police Department, he must take things into his own hands in hopes of saving the girl that he has fallen in love with. He may not have the skills of a trained specialist veteran, but he can goddamn take a punch and nothing is gonna stop him from getting his girl. And that's what happens in this movie, baby, and it is a total fucking blast. This movie is just so goddamn fun, and it lives up to the R rating, baby. I mean, holy shit, we get to see some gnarly ass stuff. The writers, directors, cinematographers, everyone who worked on this film was not afraid to get close and down dirty, showing us just how fucking brutal and bloody things are. In the trailer, we see that he grabs a pistol out of a boiling grease pan. He's definitely not getting full functionality of that hand ever again. And trust me, a lot more stuff happens to that hand, honestly both hands, and there's just no way his hand is gonna recover, and if it ever does, he ain't gonna be able to move things properly anymore. Basically, this genetic disorder almost makes Jack Quaid superhuman. The fact that he's going up against people who will feel everything that he puts up against them, but whatever they do to him, he ain't feeling nothing. So he'll keep on fighting as long as he doesn't get tired and his body keeps on going with him. He can still die. The movie makes that very clear. Jacob Batalon, or Batalon, who you may recognize from the Spider-Man films featuring Tom Holland, is also in this film, and he's just as amazing. He portrays Nathan Cain's one and only best friend, Roscoe, who he's never met before. In person, that is, because they're mainly online gaming homies. Roscoe, of course, is coincidentally within the same state and city that Nathan Cain is, so he goes on to help the man out. Amber Midthunder, who portrays the love interest Sherry, does a brilliant job at building this chemistry between herself and Jack Quaid. Their romance was pretty solid and believable thanks to the setup with Nathan Cain and his desire to find love, because it's something that he's never really experienced before in his life, especially after learning a bit more about how he was raised, how he grew up after his parents discovered his genetic disorder. But man, is this romance just cut short and feels kind of rushed, like they just didn't really want to further develop this connection, so they immediately just jumped into the action, into the chase. Not that I'm complaining, as long as the action is consistent and keeps me entertained, I don't mind that extra 20 minutes from 90. But the movie doesn't always maintain that pace and does kind of slow down when Jack Quaid is trying to figure out where to go and how to find his girl. And for those of y'all who've seen a lot of movies, especially movies like this, you can see a twist coming from 100 miles away. I mean, I basically predicted that shit the moment things kind of got to the chase. I know it's kind of like yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what's gonna happen. The big reveal that I'm grateful the movie didn't really try to make into some giant big old reveal twist thing. I wouldn't really call what I'm telling you a spoiler, since the movie also isn't really ashamed of just basically letting you know pretty soon. There are also two detectives in this film following the footsteps of Novocaine, and they are a welcome surprise. I'm glad they weren't written like some stereotypical bullshit that we've seen in so many movies where they think, this guy, the assistant manager, he's totally on it with the robbers. That's why he's going after them. It does kind of start off like that, but thankfully it is just quickly thrown out the window and we don't have to deal with that kind of cliche bullshit. These detectives want to help save Sherry just as much as Novocaine does. Before I forget, the production is solid. It looks good. The action is not some ridiculous choppy mess. We can actually see what the fuck's happening on screen. And like I said earlier, when things start getting crazy and Jack Quaid must brawl for his life and it gets all fucking bloody, I mean, this movie is not afraid to show anything that he'll do to fucking save his girl. I mean, like you saw in the trailer, he fucking punches into a bunch of glass in order to get some fucking, like, you know, like Wolverine claws. Well, obviously not exactly like Wolverine claws, but he has glass in his goddamn fists, and that's gonna hurt a whole lot more. Getting to what I thought was the ending of this movie, I was just kind of like, oh, you know what? Is this where it's gonna wrap up? It kind of felt pretty good. I was like, you know what? I feel good. This is a fine little spot to end. This is an enjoyable film, and I don't need anything else. But then it just kept going, and I was like, whoa, what's happening? It was pretty good right here. If they just kept it here and allowed Jack Quaid to have some badass final fight, I mean, I would have been all the more happy. I don't mind the extra time that we got with this movie, especially since we got to see some even more gnarly shit. I mean, oh my god, this movie had me freaking out, like audibly just fucking, like grossing me out, and I just can't stand it. I don't know what it is, man. I have like this very specific fear when it comes to like blood and gore to the human body. Very specific. I can't really define it. I mean, I could watch all sorts of crazy shit, but when it comes to like hands and veins and blood and very specific contortions of the body, I'm just kind of like, oh my god, get me out. I can't look at this. All in all, who really fucking cares about the story of this movie? We just want to see some crazy shit. We want to see someone with a genetic disorder become a superhero and save the girl that he loves. We want to see him do some fucked up shit, some crazy ass stuff that we've never seen anyone do, and fuck someone else up with it. And that's what we got, baby. Jack Quaid being a total badass and a fun time in the theaters. I mean, my audience, everyone there with me was just having a grand old time with this movie. Even though the relationships in this film lack development, it is still a whole bunch of giggles, and the banter between all of them, Jacob, Amber, and Jack, you can tell they had a great time working on this movie. Yeah. This movie rocks. Alright, that's enough of me. I'll catch you guys next time.
Chef Cool, Louis, Ruben, Duffel, got 10 in